As part of my Steam cleaning series, where I got through every game in my Steam library. Eventually, then arbitrarily rate and or review them after a wee bit of playtime. I have got to say, I swear I've heard this song before. Hold on. I could have sworn I played a game. Did I play this game already? I played a lot by Dark Here Studios. Just double check. Nope, Sword Bounce. That's not it. Oh, Beach Bounce. That's not it. No, okay, I haven't played this game before. It must be Beach Bounce, but I swear I've heard their song before multiple times. Anyway, this is part of my Steam cleaning series. I got every game in my Steam library. Eventually, then I'll try to rate and a review and a wee bit of playtime. Now, I haven't played this game. Based on my research there, I haven't played this game at all, but I'm willing to bet that this is the same gosh darn game that all the other Beauty whatever or Bounce whatever games there are. It's a visual novel. It's probably going to be about some guy who inherits a sauna, and all the employees are ladies, and they're all very excited to meet him. Play. Oh, Beach Bounce is a wonderful resort full of beautiful girls, and it's all yours. It hasn't been an easy journey. You only... I swear I played this game before. Have I not? You've only inherited this resort after your grandmother passed away, after all. Still, along the way you found love, sort of. But, considering your current workload, you're putting dating on hold. You sit back in your chair and stare levelly at a stack of papers in front of you, trying to set them on fire with your mind. Hold on, I have to check. I have to check. What is Beach Bounce? Hold on. Is this the same game? Hold on. Gotta pull this up. Or was one of these delisted? So there's this one. And then there's this other one. Hold on, I'll share the screen in a second. Oh, I see. Okay, let's see what I can do here. This is obviously not what I expected to do here. This game... So, Beauty Bounce. A new day begins. You take over running of a beach resort filled with beautiful girls, distract you from saving the park from your nation. All the while trying to ensure one of your staff members wins the local beauty pageant. It can be trying times in this visual novel. And then this one, Beach Bounce, a slice-of-life visual novel game in 3 parts following Tomo during summer vacation, long-lost relative, a fun, chunky story, branches several... It's the same game. It's the same game. Tomo finds himself at his grandmother's Umi's beach resort, looking forward to a great summer. It's the same game. Did they just repackage it? Anyway. Who would have thought that managing a holiday resort would involve so much paperwork? On second thought, you shove the stack aside, but take 2 sheets off the top and grab a couple of envelopes. You hear the door creak open and look over to find Yuki. Yuki, hey Tomo. Is this a sequel? Doing okay? You shake your head and give her a sad smile, waving around the 2 envelopes in your hand. What are those? Ray and Mako's last paychecks. Oh, this has got to be a sequel. That's what it is. This is a sequel to the game that was delisted. So, because this is called Beauty Bounce, but their outfit says Beach Bounce. I've cracked the case. Okay, so this is the Bounce cinematic universe. I'm losing my mind here. Oh no, I'm streaming this one instead of recording it. It's fine. I'm losing my mind. I'll pull the VOD. I just can't. I'm gonna miss them all. Well, hopefully Ray will come back when she's done traveling. Not sure about Miniko. She still has to finish up at university. Where is Ray now? Well, this envelope is going to Spain. Why is that possessive? Well, this envelope is going to Spain. It's not the envelope is going. The envelope doesn't own the going. Oh, does that answer your question? You stand up and stretch, sliding the envelopes. Now it's plural. So... Okay, cross the table towards her. Can you mail these for me, please? Sure thing, Tomo. By the way, don't you have an appointment with the bank today? Ugh, don't remind me. You sag back down into your chair, groaning. Can't I just put it off and work on pageant prep instead? The Beauty Bounce pageant is a yearly custom at the resort. It takes place in the off-season in order to draw more customers. You can't think of a more delightful thing than relax and watch your staff and guests take part in the beauty pageant. Tomo, we handle this for years. We'll handle all the work here while you go to that appointment. Who's we? We're running out of staff, you know. Oh man, things have gotten rough around the beach bounce area. Yuki crosses her arms and frowns at you. Go to the bank. The last thing we want is to get in trouble because you'd rather gawk at girls all day. I'll go find a suit. Yuki smiles warmly the moment you cave in. Please, she walks towards the door backwards with envelopes in her hand. Play nice, Tomo. They couldn't even flip her sprite. I'm so mad. It's not as though you have much of a choice, semicolon. You owe the bank a rather reasonable sum of money. Not that you'd ever tell Yuki quite how dire it would be if they suddenly decide they need a full repayment immediately. That's not how banks work. Why don't I just sell this couch? Or the 7 sets of encyclopedias there. This is just... Oh, this is the bank, right? Is this the bank? Yeah. You shake your head and try to bury your frustration. Being kept waiting in a dull office is not how you wanted this day to go. You are snapped out of your muddling by the sound of a door opening and the click-clack of heels on a wooden floor. Finally, I got a... Your words are stolen from your mouth at the sight of her. Sorry, a what? You gulp. A resort to run. Considering it's our investment, we'll be happy to let you get back to it. Sadly, however, this will be a long process. I'm one of the bank's auditing agents. You can call me Hiromi. You open your mouth to speak, but she interrupts you. No need to introduce yourself. I'm already familiar with you, Mr. Tomoyo. She gives you a confident smile. You do your very best not to oogle her. Good, because that would be terrible. Just Tomo is fine. Tomo it is. Well, no need for this to be unpleasant. Coffee? Tea? Coffee, thanks. You watch her saunter around the little office confidently. She presses some buttons on the coffee machine and gathers a small plate of cookies. She pulls out 2 styrofoam cups as she munches away on a cookie. She hands you the plate first. You would be determined to just grimace your way through this meeting, which you would imagined. That's what that stands for, right? You'd? As in, like, you would? You would, Ben. Like, they're missing a... Or maybe you had been? Yeah, maybe it's you had. You had been determined to just grimace your way through this meeting, which you had imagined to be some stuffy old accountant. Considering you are now eating a rather delicious cookie with the woman, things are starting to look up. I imagine that this is all rather unpleasant surprise for you. Give Himari a grin as she places a cup of coffee in front of you. You take a sip of the rich beverage. Actually, now that you're here, I'd say it's rather pleasant. She smirks and shakes her head. Confident one, aren't you? First things first. As you know, we've invested a considerable amount in Beach Bounce, the prequel. You've seen the grand total before, and accounting for inflation, she's being rather modest. No less than a low repayment rate plan that was contractually locked. Such a rate for a sum like this is unheard of. That contract is up now? At last, yes. Goodness knows how such an agreement was made in the first place. He gives you a look up and down, then hums curiously before taking a sip of her cup. What's that supposed to mean? How could it have happened then? Well, perhaps in her younger days, your grandmother and the owner came to an agreement. You nearly spit out your drink. You clear your throat and look away. Oh my, Tomo, do try to keep it together. I believe I'd lose my job if my clients chokes to death. Cough, I'll take that into consideration. You sigh and settle back down, whilst shaking your head. Okay, so how did I re-enter the contract? Mori blinks before bursting into laughter. Oh my, you were serious, weren't you? She adjusts herself and straightens up her clothes before taking a moment to sip her drink again. You do realize this rate is highway robbery, yes? No, banks are robberies. Capitalism is robbery. It was an issue in the past. At the current rate, it'll take 20 years to repay the loan. Can you imagine that kind of risk we'd be taking if we agree to that? Beach Bounce has faithfully made each repayment on this loan since construction, but regardless of that fact, it's a huge red blot on our records. No, Tomo, there is very little chance you'll be able to maintain that repayment rate. That would only ever happen if an auditor cleared it. You blink in surprise while trying to run the numbers through your head. You being the auditor in question, right? She shrugs, though a smile on her face is a little smug. I know, how awful. I'll have to stay at the resort a few days just to audit the paper trails and make sure that everything is in order. Wait, what? Oh, also check how strong an experience you provide during off-season, which I imagine starts soon. But, if I remember correctly, you have a special event coming up soon. We've checked your payroll status, too. I take it you got new hires pending? Of course, but... Oh, did that why we left? All the people who went to Spain are now gone so they can bring in new people? Characters? Why, I'm sure this will be an absolute delight. Draw the line. Wait it out. Oh, I got a choice here. I don't care. Wait it out. Write down on your frustration before I can be forced you to shout at her. Simply sip from your coffee and wait Hiromi's brief spout of excitement to pick her up. When she finally settles back down and pulls out a number of documents, you've already finished your drink. May I continue now? You only had to ask, Tomo. Yeah, right. You're correct on all points. I need to hire more staff, and the resort's got a pageant coming up in the next couple of weeks. I actually have plans to promote a few of the older staff I'm working there for a while, give them more suitable jobs. Most of our suppliers are fine with the change of management, really. It's only you, the bank, that's kicking up a fuss. A fuss? I believe we've already covered that our disagreement is with a good reason. So, like, I know this is a visual novel that's supposed to be, like, saucy, but boy, does 11 minutes of bank negotiations really sets the scene for what they're trying to go for here. Be that as it may, give me a moment. Hiromi seems amused, but nonetheless content to finish your drink while you think. When would you turn up? In 2 days. What will you need to do? Go through all your paperwork and observe your operations the off-peak season. For how long? She ponders and leans back in her chair, crossing her arms. A couple of days, though I'm sure if it all goes well, the bank won't mind me staying a bit longer than planned. Just to make sure everything's kosher, of course. There's a wicked glint in Hiromi's eyes, as for a moment you consider offering her a bribe. Common sense somehow prevails, and you just nod. Okay, still, it's gonna be busy. How much attention do you expect from me? Just a bit of your time. I'll likely be doing the bulk of the work in the evenings. I can hardly get a glimpse of the place running if I'm cooped up inside doing paperwork all the time, you know? I've come to feel the same way recently, honestly. Hiromi giggles before standing up and offering your hand. I've no doubt I will see you again soon, then. There are probably idioms about shaking hands with bankers. Yes, thanks for your time. Before anything stupid falls out of your mouth, you opt to get out of there. What? You duck away from stomping Yuki as you watch her frustration grow. I will not show you the books to prove it. Please trust me when I say there's no other way. Grrr. How can they go and pull us out of the blue, though? Turns out Gran was quite favored. The contract needed renewing, and they don't have to renew it under the same terms. Now that they mention it, she'd always seem to get along pretty well with the manager whenever he came by. Please don't. Don't follow that through any further down the rabbit hole. Yuki blinks, confused before her mouth opens slightly. Oh, you mean those two Yuki? She giggles and sits down. You're glad she has at least calmed down. Plus, it's not all that bad. While I was writing the checks... Is that how you spell checks? Isn't it C-Q-U-E-C or something like that? Anyway, I noticed there were some unfulfilled positions. Not just the ones left by Rei and Meiko, mind you. Yeah, take a look at this. You rummage through the familiar stack of paper and spell out a contract. Wait, are you offering me a promotion? Of course, you're kinda earned it, you know. There's another piece of paper around, and Akio will get promotion to a staff manager. Oh, that's a really good move, actually. So? Huh? Alright, yes, I'd love to accept the offer. Good, welcome aboard again, Yuki. Give her a smile, she surprised you by ducking in for a hug, finishing with a peck on the cheek. Hopefully, Akiko accepts it too. As did she ever let you down, Tomo? True, besides I need her help to phase 3 of the staff plan. Phase 3? Persuading your sister to work here full-time, of course. Yuki scoffs and waves her hand through at the thought. Neither myself nor your grandma could get her to do more than hang around part-time. You tap your fingers together and grin smugly. But did you have Akiko's help? You really think you'd make that much of a difference? Have faith in me. And after that, it's phase 4. We should bring in a newbie, so hopefully Eiko and Sakura know someone. And you assume I don't? Correct, mostly because you never seem to leave this place. You would have already gotten them in if you did. Yukari harums, but she doesn't argue. She signs the contract, seemingly rather pleased to be putting more paperwork into your to-do pile. You roll your eyes, you go out hunting for Eiko. Tomo, what brings you to my neck of your woods? What brings you to your neck? Sorry. What brings you to my neck of your woods? That's not the saying. Oh, there you go. Okay. He also is confused. You give yourself a second to put a statement together before shrugging. Well, I have this thing here. I'm pretty sure it's yours. Hold up a piece of paper, and the buxomous woman accepts it. Is it a sign-up sheet for the pageant? What? No. You're going to be in it, though, right? Duh. She smiles like sunshine as she looks over the paper. Oh, snap. More money? That's how people talk. The general idea is that you also need to do more work for the extra money, too, but yes. More work, too. Please? Ego snickers and nods. Got a pen? Pat your jacket down, then present the tool to her with a flourish. And there. She hands back over the freshly signed contract, a bright grin on her face. Excellent. Now for your first duty as Beachbound staff manager. Her bright, cheery smile drops into a wary stare. Uh-huh. Get Sakura to stay with us full time. Yeah, right. You're actually serious, aren't you? We need her. She's been asked before, you know, and you know what her answer back then was? She wasn't asked by you. Akio throws her hands in the air and feigns surrender. I won't even argue, at least give it a try. Oh my god. Right by the coffee shop, as you expect, is Sakura. If it isn't my favorite people. Everyone's your favorite people. Yeah, but I love you two most. Well, actually, since we're the ones asking. Akio approaches Sakura with her hips swaying, but Sakura just looks confused. You see, we need a new greeter. No one's better at that than you are. Sakura scoffs, waving her hands dismissively. I'm already pretty busy. You know I'm booked up. At the coffee shop? Or you can free some time and spend more hours with us instead. You place yourself on the other side of Sakura, winking at Eiko and leaning in. Please, it doesn't have to be for long, just a couple of weeks. Come on, Tomo. I'm not suited to hanging around in one place all day. She's pulled into hug by Eiko, but it all smothers her with her chest and she grumbles. Eiko gives a wink and leans down to whisper into her ear. Please. You stand back and observe Sakura squirms and shivers. You never stood a chance. Okay. As fun as exciting as it is to manage a hotel and go through bank paperworks, this visual novel does not offer a lot of choice. The writing seems to have a few foibles about it when it comes to language choice and word usage, and so far the characters seem kind of flat. Maybe if you go for a few hours, you'll get more out of it. But there you go, Beauty Bounce, the apparent sequel to Beach Bounce, which I learned during the process of this video. Cheers.